When we think of creativity, we usually don't think of seagulls. But if we are to methodize a new way of increasing our creativity, seagulls are actually quite a good place to begin. In fact, new research in science suggests that creativity is much more than a human process, and goes so far to suggest that creativity exists in biological and physical systems. Thus, understanding creativity in the broader sense is the first step to increasing one's own application of creativity. Too often, creativity discussions result in a binary opposition between the creative and the uncreative. It is far better for us to visualize creativity as a continuum, where more creativity is discussed as a matter of degree.
If we want to be more creative and accept that everything is creative to some degree, we must search for some criteria to analyze creativity on the continuum. We shall say that the criteria is influence, as all creative processes exert a force of influence of some kind on their broader social systems.
Now, if we immediately apply this idea to the artist, it may at first be confusing, because most artists create things that hang on walls as relatively uninfluential objects. But this judgment only applies to the object of art, although the object...
Point strategies, we have coined the phrase identity systems. And today, that's what we're going to be talking about, discovering your identity system. You are what you think you are. You become what you think you can be. Those of you who believe this, who believe it in your hearts, I want you to raise your hand right now. That's good. I want you to raise it up high. Okay.
It's a long system as systems go.
Identity is a system with living components. Identity alters the components, and the components alter the identity.
Yes, the system that we're working with there is approximately 200 miles around from one end to the other, so there's a lot of exposure.
Identity is a system. Identity equals body plus environment plus subjectivity plus time.
What you gain by utilizing the system is a bridge between today's system and the future system.
This is the groove. At one point, the groove is pushing. At another point, the groove is lagging. So if you are in a conversation thinking about what the groove is, you probably will have missed it. This is because in good communication, the groove is emergent. Furthermore, groove listening assumes that the goals of a communication are in a continual state of flux. To summarize, if we listen for patterns, we will discover simple, repeatable speech patterns. If we listen to rhythm, we will discern the qualitative or emotive meaning encoded in the pattern. But if, as listeners, we can develop good groove listening techniques, something quite extraordinary takes place. When a listener can groove with her group, she can increase the capacity for transformation within the group, and therefore exerts a higher level of influence into the group's direction and identity. Most importantly, if you feel like no one is listening to you, groove listening is probably not present in the exchange. That's why here at Global Point Strategies, we've put together a new step-by-step program with all the little secrets of how to... by disturbances in the natural flow of things. Yet, once the disturbance is removed, self-organization will quickly resume.
Relative time management can thus be understood as this battle of counter forces, time, which is movement and continual change, and management, which fixes the movement into a pattern or topology necessary for organization, direction, and stability. The forces of time and management are the key to getting more done in less time. Yet, by using relative time management, you can get more time to do less in these very busy modern times. I'm Kurt Weibers. Thank you for listening to me.
This is Kurt Weibers,
Here,
reporting live
with Paul Van House. Reporting live
from the Buffalo Niagara International Airport.
the Albright Knox Art Gallery in Buffalo.
Creativity can be taught, it can be learned.
Creativity, it takes a certain degree of effort.
I have a bad, habit of not being all that creative.
I think some of the most horrendous things have come from the greatest human creativity. I don't know that we really want to be that creative.
I think creativity is unavoidable. And I started painting with paintballs. You see, there's a boundary between man and his world. And when I'm painting, it's like pop, pop, and then there's a transversal movement. And pop, and there's feedback.
Frustration is inherent then in the process of creativity. Why? The reason is because in order to be creative, we have to move to another.
Sorry, I can't handle this anymore. You're making fun. I came here to get a little bit of information about creativity and how to be more creative.
And all I'm getting to that.
But you're making fun on the way.
I'm not willing to
Get
listen.
to
I'm willing to listen to you.
We'll get to the point.
What?
We should leave, you guys.
What's your name?
You don't need to know my name.
The Untitled Trade Show booth number 42 is a full-scale, fully functional trade show booth. It made sense to create a trade show booth because up to this point the material of Global Point Strategies was primarily media. The unmanned trade show booth displays the videos when Kurt's not there, as shown here installed at the Birchfield Penny Art Center. The sign tower is about 8 feet tall. The main wall is 8 feet by 5 feet. It is made out of steel and plexiglass and is lit by 10 8-foot-long fluorescent bulbs. The arrangement of the pieces delimits the territory of the booth.